All right, welcome back, friends. Miss Kay has her artwork farther away from her. After your first go through has dried, I want you to do the same thing. And why am I doing this? Because I have to take the next step. I have to decide some things. And you know how if you put your phone on portrait mode, the things in the foreground are clear and the things in the background are not? I want you to look at your artwork. Maybe you need to take a picture of it and say, what could that be? And fuzz it out so that you can imagine more than one thought. And then you could also sketch that out just on a piece of paper. But I took my glasses off. If you have glasses and you're nearsighted, you could do this too. And I'm looking at it, and it's just things are blurred. I like how. And then think about what you did right, what you did wrong, what you need to make better. So what did I do right? Well, I've got middle in the front and light in the background, sort of where it's like light blue. And remember, I have my glasses off, so I can only see the big sections. I see that I am missing the dark in the foreground, and if you remember, I was painting and I was trying to get that, but when it's wet on wet, it doesn't allow you. So that's why we have a step 2 today, and I'm going to really put those details in the foreground today. I also see the white path. I could make it a path. You could make it a path and maybe make rocks on it. I could add water into it. And you know, Miss Kay, I'm a water sign, so I love my water. I'm thinking I'm going to do that. But Miss Kay, you already used that teal color. Yes, I could almost, if you ever look at artwork that is of water, the water sometimes does look black a lot of times. So I am going to take advantage of using very dark color, although I don't like using black with mine. And also I'm going to add some more detailed rocks in the foreground. I'm going to emphasize, remember Georgia O'Keeffe's mountains have those black like triangles in them. I'm going to add them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to do that today. And then I look at my sky and I see there are some problems, like maybe the blue went into the red, so I might go over that and see if that can be fixed. Just don't go over things when it's already wet, because you'll have a hole. And if you do have a hole, that means that you need to wait till it dries, sort of lightly push it back, and then wait till it dries, maybe put a book on it, and then the next day turn it over and put a piece of clear tape on the back. All right, because for my friends that don't have watercolors, that is a problem. So welcome, friends. Thank you for being here. Let's get started. So I want you to take that time thinking about your art. Don't just start it, and don't just watch Miss Kay and be like, all right, she did this, this, and this. I really want you to think about the blurriness of it and wonder, what could that path be? Or look at yours. Is yours different? Now I do have some wipes. I am in a different room. Miss Brown took the room I usually work in. And so I have my art here. And then I also have any supply that I thought I was going to use. All right. So I'm going to go back first of all and see if I can get any more white. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm just thickening my white lines. Hopefully we'll come back. There we go. All right. So just make sure they're straight. If you mess up, just thicken it up a little more. And as you think of it as a triangle, the point of the triangle is here. As you work out, it gets a little doubled. Point of it is here. As you work out, it's doubled. Point of it's here. As you work out, it doubles. And I want to leave some of it not going all the way. So not all the way, almost all the way. And then we have this spot. I'm not sure what I'm doing here, so I don't want to change that too much. All right. So notice I'm making this like a long, skinny, sword-like triangle. All right. Oops. And if you need an eraser, but Miss Kate didn't bring an eraser down here. So I'm just going to smear it. And that's the wonderful thing about oil pastel, is that it has that wonderful soft look to it. All right. So let's go ahead and add just one more triangle. Again, point here. And this also helps with all the other principles of art. Everybody is pointing to the sun, all right? I guess that's a good thing. You can make your sun a little bit bigger, but not too much. It's going to only land out here. I don't know if I like that, so I'm not going to even do it anymore. All right. Now this won't allow itself to get painted on, so it's going to stay brighter. I like it already. All right, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get the white, and I might even have to use like an acrylic white. See, this is actually scraping the oil pastel off. So if you do it and you don't like it, get a colored pencil. These are called twistables, and the wonderful things is you don't ever have to sharpen them. They are a little cost more. All right. So I'm happy with my sun there. Now I want to make sure my values, light, medium, dark. I'm going to just, oh, I don't even like that red. So I stop. I don't keep trying. All right. Oh, I like this. All right. And I'm just making sure that the very top part shows that I understand it's supposed to go dark, medium, light. And the wonderful thing is you can smear. Now, before I make a big old mess on this lady's desk, I'm going to try to put another piece of paper here so I can eliminate some of the mess and just make a mess on this. Okay, so now I've got dark. I got these blue dots. I mean, if you can think of what you can turn them into that is far away and fuzzy, that's great. I am going to try this, which is an oil pastel. It will not go over those, though, just know that. But remember, she did put, or he or whoever, did put some blue in the sky. So just know that, and smear it all the way. My finger's really hot. All right, all right. So I'm still showing dark, medium. You want to add some yellow. Go ahead and add that in. But notice I didn't make my line straight across. No orange straight across, okay? That allows for that watercolory look to shine through. And I think maybe I'll try to paint it later on, but right now I'm good with that. I have to remember this is fuzzy, this is clear. So let's go ahead and think about what could I do on the edge? Well, where am I? And if you want to be realistic with your wildlife or plant life, you need to make, I just want to make a basic vine. And I'm going to just be make-believe too. I'm not going to be like John James Audubon that made sure it was the correct plant that goes with, this is make-believe, more like Henry Rousseau. All right, and he just would go through a plant garden and he would simply pick
which I'm thinking I'm going into something my son likes. That's not what I want. Vines, plants. All right, so we do have some fake ones. I more want, and it could even be grapes. How to draw, I always tell you that. How to draw vines. All right, and I sort of want it on the side. And I like this. All right, so I think I'm going to just look at, and maybe on the side, like coming over on the left side is something that looks like this, and then something, oh, that looks neat too. That's grapes. Okay, if you want your person to be hungry or something, or just look, I don't know, I don't want that. I just want something that's dark green to go along with my colors. This is the time also, well, I guess we already have the space. I was going to say if you want to create a window, but I think we're already past that. So just find how to draw leaf vines if you want something, and I'm going to be drawing it black, all right? And actually, I'm just going to, I need to stare at this. Notice that shadow. You can add your shadows to the things in the foreground. All right, so I'm getting out my, I think I'm gonna, no, do I want to be brave enough to do my dry brush? No, I'm going to use a pencil first. And I'm going to be making this on the right side of my artwork, okay? So I'm just making a number 1 on the very right side of my art. Oh, wait. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I already put it there, right? So I started with a number 1 in the middle right side of my paper. And what I'm going to do is create that S, starting close together. And then as you get to the bottom, it gets a little thicker apart. I'm going to skip a space, and just like they did there at the top. And remember, it's supposed to be black, so I'm using a black colored pencil. All right, and if I need to think about it, I'm going to wind it back because I need it to be longer. All right, and this is where I'm getting the real darks. I'm also going to add another level of blue, but I wanted to get this on here first. So just right in the middle, I'm making a line, and then it looks like another line, goes straight down number 1, make a sideways V for the middle of the leaf, and then come back. All right, you really don't need to worry about the details inside because you are going to be coloring it in black if you're doing this one, okay? So just try to draw, if you're having trouble, try to draw the shape of that leaf the best that you can, which looks like, I don't know how to describe it. You can see it though. I'm not worried about all that because there is no ground. And then I just have these little lemon shapes at the top. Maybe you're just doing lemon shapes that get bigger. That is fine too. And I'm going to go ahead. I want to make sure it looks alike on both sides. All right. I see what is this? They're making a seed. Okay, and oh no, that I don't really care about that. I don't want that sticking in my artwork, okay? So let me show you what I'm doing from that. Actually, well, yeah, I should do that. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so Ms. K just added on the right side. I'm going to now if you are unsure of yourself and you think you're going to mess up, you could color it in with a Sharpie and just outline it. All right. And color this vine in. Now I'm conquering the problem of I have to be very detailed close up. Am I? Yes, I just drew a very detailed, not so much that you need the insides of these leaves, but, and try, like my marker does not like to go over paint, okay? It won't like to go over oil pastel. It'll hate that. It'll stop working. So don't go over the oil pastel. It's still going to work later over the paint. It's just going to, it just feels like it just doesn't want to work. All right. And as long as you draw it in a pencil, I really don't know if I want to draw that line right there. All right. So I got that going on. All right. Now I want to, before I do my water, I feel like I need something else over here to balance it out, like that video we watched that is in the PowerPoint. So I'm going to head back and go back. And then there was another one that looked like this. All right, could have been the same person drawing it. All right, so let's take a look at that. All right. And so again, I'm going to start on the far left side, not where they are. Remember, I'm using this to just make something detailed in the foreground. All right, and maybe I will draw. I like that branch. I don't know where I'm at. I'm at the top of a mountain. Why wouldn't there be a branch? So I'm going to draw this not perfect old branch, then I'm going to make the other part of the vine, and the vine's going to be the thickest because it's in the bottom left hand corner, and then I'm going to continue with the branch. All right, and then I'm actually just going to stop it. All right, I do need to add those leaves. So do I want to continue with the same leaves? I think that would add unity if I would. So I'm just going to go ahead and do those same leaves I learned how to do on the other side. All right. And they're colored in black, so I'm not really worried. I'm going to add right here, I'm going to add another leaf. It's going over my name though. And oh, I like that little spiral thing. I'm always trying to create those. So if you want to find one of those, that would be fine. And I am going to see how they just brought that one up. I'm going to make that get small, like it's hopeful. That line going up, any line aiming up, just makes you look like you're thinking positively. All right, and maybe to the sun. All right, so I am going to go ahead. Let's see if they got any more. We went down. All right, I know you can't see me, but I'm thinking it might be easier just to rewind this. And then I'm making my leaf smaller into space, and then on the very end I'm adding those little tiny lemon shapes. All right, so I got what I need from this. And feel free, you are not cheating if you do this, all right? So let's turn that off and let's head back here. So all I've done is what that video taught me. Here's the tree trunk. And I'm just, whoops, that's okay because it's all a shadow. And when I need my twistable, I just go up. And I am trying to make this the darkest I can. Miss K, could I do this in pastel? You don't want to do this in pastel, especially if you still have to paint. Like I know if I paint, this is not going to go anywhere. Sharpie would work too. I guess I did do this in Sharpie. I forgot. But my Sharpie's running out. So I might have to go over the colored pencil a couple times to make it so it is opaque. Remember our word opaque, not see-through. All right, so there is a leaf. Here is another leaf. Looks like a little witch's hat, doesn't it? Except we got to curve the bottom like a little cone on the street. And just easy. Everything's colored in black once you take the time to figure out how to do it. Ms. K, you even needed a video to watch? Yes, I can't remember all this stuff. So it is easier just to get a brief reminder, watching a little video of somebody that probably does it a whole bunch of times. All right, now I see I lost my little spiral. That is okay. And I'm just going to go off the paper. It does look cool when you do go off the paper and then come back to the paper. All right, now the only thing that's bothering me is this yellow oil pastel, or sorry, it's not even oil pastel. It's a watercolor colored pencil. See, I pressed too hard. Don't roll it up too much or you'll break it really quick. And sometimes when you're at the bottom, you just got to go like this, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, so I like that. If you like something else, go ahead and do something else. To me, this isn't black enough, but I want you to understand, go over it with a marker again. Maybe I could go over it with the oil pastel. My problem is I don't want it to smear. And right now, I've got to worry about this water. And we're already 2 minutes in, but I'm good. The staff meeting is not going to start yet. So we need to look at some water. All right. How to paint water. And while I do love how to paint water, I want to make sure that I do not do it wrong. How to paint water in a valley. All right, so let's look. And as long as I could see a picture, so you could look for a picture, and that's really cool, but it's not going the right direction. This is more what I'm trying to do. I don't know how detailed I want to get with you because I don't want to make this video too awful long. There's a way to paint water, but again, my river is going sort of like this. All right. So what I'm going to do, it does sort of do what mine does, and it doesn't do what I thought it was going to do. I thought the lines were going to go this way, but instead they're going this way. So I am going to, let's see, how can I do this? There. All right, maybe move me over here. Oh, look at that, friends. Now you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to take, I see that, look at this picture. The white topped mountain is reflecting light in the water, okay? So I am going to make sure that it isn't dark. I don't I know I told you to do the watercolor in order, but I'm going to start out. Let's see. I'm just making number ones on the side. Did I bring rocks? I didn't bring something for rocks. I might be rockless. We can add rocks later. Or maybe even you can glue little pieces of construction paper and then glue them, just a big one at the bottom, a medium one sort of on the other side in the middle, and then on the left side, the last one small. All right, so I'm looking. You're probably like, this looks like the same thing, Miss K. You need to make it dark. You are right, but I don't like to mess up, and I want to make sure that maybe I have the layers first. So remember, I did it all in yellow. All right. And I'm just making minuses on the left side of the river and then minuses on the right side of the river. I'm going to make them a little longer down here. All right, maybe, do I have maybe a rock that I just don't want that to be like the most important thing. So I'm making it sort of right by, maybe that's not a good idea, but I got a rock in there. And then I don't know if you've seen how water goes around the rock, but let's just go ahead, and now I feel confident, okay? I am going to add, still not dark enough. I really need a dark, right? So I'm going to make these smaller, so I'm working smarter, not harder. So I have it dark and then lighter. Remember, water can either, I don't want to say it's always dark or always light. I wish I could find a picture. I didn't find a picture. That sun ray is hitting here. I don't want to mess with that right now. Minus. Remember, you're doing minus, okay? And then if you want to smear it, that's when it looks, maybe make your finger wavy, X, 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 X. Okay? And see, I forgot my rocks. That's why I don't want to add in many rocks either. All right. Now you could try with, and these are oil pastels, my friends, and even Miss K keeps going, oh, I need to make it wavy. Take your finger and make it wavy. And see, your finger, Mr. Dirty Finger, is getting really dirty, but I'm having fun making this water. All right, and the chunks of it are allowing me to make the water looks like it's in motion. And maybe I'll make it a little darker, longer in some places. All right. And I see that I really need to make this. I am putting the water more. Okay, remember, Miss K, you don't want to add too many details to the background. Okay, minus, and this yellow doesn't need to be there, so I can just go right over that. All right, but that's the wonderful thing about watercolors. It might be realistic, it might not. Okay, up in there. Oh, this is where Miss K needs to go by her rules. All right, so I can always go back later. All right, back, forth, back. We'll do this one more time. just right here. We really want that water to look like it's flowing back and forth, even if we have to maybe make it do that. All right. Okay, so water. Now we need to get back and make sure your water is not on your paper. I'm going to do dry brush, okay? Ms. K, I want a tree in there. All right, let's say you want a tree in there. If you want a tree, I don't know where to put a tree. I am just going to show you. All right, so what I did is it's dry brush. Now you do have to make the watercolor work, so you have to just take a little bit of water, a lot of paint, and make it to a point, and then you're just going to make a number 1. All right, oops, sorry, make a number 1, and then dot on the other side, not in the same spot, and then maybe go back, forth, big, whatever I said, I would call it something, ping pong, back and forth. All right, I don't know if I want that in there. Let's see, because I really have to make sure that I get this ground down here darker, but I know that I should probably make this dark too again. So I'm just going to go through and you're probably like, Miss K doesn't know how to paint. She's like making it all the same color. Just hold on. Like, and plus it's water. I definitely want to make water with watercolor. So I make it really, really dark, and it's starting to look better. Okay. And I'm squinting. I see this is still light. Now if you messed up, you could go back. Like you want some areas white, you could blend it into. And then you've whitened up where maybe it's reflecting the sunshine, right? Okay, now I don't want to do anything black. I'm going to use my brush like this. This is also, let me just show you. This is also my fan brush. I'm going to dry brush. I'm wiping off the extra paint. All right. And fan brushes make really cool trees. So the first one is like this. I mean, they're not realistic. But then, oh, and don't forget the number 1. All right. And I mean, it's not the best thing. I actually like this other one better, don't you? And I'm doing it the color of this because I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. Oh my goodness, Miss Kate. All right, there we go. All right. So, again, if you want to add those trees, you can. I just want to wrap this video up, but I just showed you again how to do the tree. Number 1, biggest on the left side, dot, dot, longer, longer. All right, and it does need to be darker. All right, so that's how you do that. And if you're not sure, just say how to paint an evergreen tree. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's make this triangles. Remember Georgia O'Keeffe triangles? Except I am going to, this is what this is for, come up here and make a color. Uh-oh. I'm going to turn this off. All right, and hopefully it'll come back. There we go. So I'm making a color. I'm going to mix all my dark blues. I might even use blue violet. I really need a dark color. And I hate to do this, but I might even use black. All right, so let's try this out. All right, up the mountain. Oh, that's just not doing anything, is it? Up the mountain. See, I don't need to worry about this going anywhere because I made it in. All right, that's not working. So next, I'm going to add black to it. I have to add black. All right, this is going to do something. And then I have to wash my brush out if I have to go back to another color that I liked before. All right, so all cool colors should be good. I'm just going to start out where my yellow line is. Push down, lift up. Push down, lift up. Get some more. Push down, lift up. Push down, lift up. Push down. All right. And I'm just thinking about those Georgia O'Keeffe mountains that show the thick to thin, like a triangle, remember I was saying? And so I don't want to go too far. Now I'm just going to just sort of add that color very thinly and make sure it's along the edges. All right. And you should be able to see your, your lines here. Right, now it's starting to curve up. All right. And I'm trying to get the whole thing in the picture, but I'm having trouble. Okay, so maybe all right. And I'm just thinking triangle sideways on the other side. So let's just try this right here. Although it is the middle ground, right? We can, I just like how the water's hitting that right there. I think that looks cool. So I'm trying to stay away from it. The water is a different thing. And if you put too much on, just wipe it off. All right. I'm sorry, friends, every time I go near the edge. Okay, I just wipe this off. So it is dark. I want to make sure it's dark and detailed, and maybe I could even go back over. If I need to, I might go over these leaves again. All right. And then I'm trying to figure this out because this was an island, but this is now water, not a path. So I have to make this make sense. So I think I'm just going to just follow this line right here. Remember triangles. So this is the point of the triangle, and then they get a little wider, a triangle, and over here, triangle. Oh, don't use blackness, okay. It's hard to remember all these little rules but you'll be happier if you're really thinking about it. All right. So, and I'm not quite sure if I like this green stuff, but maybe it's just a green pasture like going on. And I don't want to do anything up here. I like that. So I'm going to stop that. Okay. And I have a staff meeting. So we're going to have to stop. If you do want that little tree back, you could just take something, no, not that, black. Nope, that's purple. Nope, that's purple too. But no, maybe not. All right. Maybe I will keep that tree there. All right, so I just feel like God's light is shining down here. Just remember, dark, black, detailed. And then as you're going into the picture, I'm going to move this over here, watch. All right, I'm going to take my glasses off. And I'm going to say, all right, self, is it dark at the bottom? It is dark on the right side. Is it dark on the left side? Not exactly. I feel like I need to make it a little more darker below the trees on the left. All right. I will show you my final result. And again, I did take my glasses off to see that, so it is looking blurry like this. And then I hope you guys like it, friends. I hope you have fun making this. And again, you can change it up anyway, but again, triangles, when you make the light rays from the sun, use something that oil crayon or oil crayon. Don't use colored pencil, it actually scratches it off. Dark, medium, light, sky. And I think I didn't, if I squint, this is as light as this, but that's okay. All right, I can't get that any light. Oh, yes, you could, Miss K. If I want to make it lighter, I am wiping my oil pastel off. Make sure it has no blue on it. And then if I'm trying to make it lighter, I just go like this. All right, and then I go like this. Now, if you want a deep one, go right ahead, but I know I said the sky is supposed to be lighter, and I wanted to make sure I did what I said I was going to do. Okay, I would call that done, other than I feel like I need another art supply here or another color like this. Uh-oh, accidents happen. All right, let me smear that. That's the wonderful thing about watercolor too. Miss K, gotta go to your meeting. I know, but I just want to show you guys what I do to make this darker. All right, so I'm using the regular blue. I make sure I do it on both sides. I might have to go over those leaves again. All right, I know you can see the shine here. If I had to do it again, I would not use yellow. I would have used a pencil. All right, my friends, so I still have to clean up and everything. So enjoy making your art. I love you guys. See you later.